Good evening, family. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Not everyone can hear me. I'm
Yes,
guessing. Okay.
I can hear you.
Yes.
You can turn up the TV, please.
Okay, as not all of you know, but this is very exciting for me to be here in person. Yay! I see Elise clapping. But for the rest of the, yeah, we got claps out there. Wonderful. So we will be starting our Committee 3 meeting, our October 9th, 2025. Recording is set. Yes. Recording is set. Okay, so we are now recording. I am Colleen Dickerson, one of the chairs for this committee. I'm the chair of the Education and Youth Services Committee. We have our other chair here, Ms. Joan Claude from Library and Cultural Affairs. Online, we have Dr. Sherry Samuels for Health and Human Services. And I'm joined by some most wonderful family. And they're looking at me like, we've never seen her before. But Mame, right? Mame, who's on our committee 3. And then I have Miss Karen Sparks. Huh? Skinner Parks, okay. And then Sheila Grierson. And then I have these two wonderful gentlemen next to me.
Wonderful people.
John Isaacs, second vice chair, and our, shall I say,
Chairman.
our chairman, Clinton Mike.
Good evening.
Yes, I introduced her first. So I'm not going to go through all the, we did the welcome. Was anyone, let's say, from the that would like to say anything? Any of you? No? We're not going to go through goals, minutes. Do we have any elected officials online? Can you? Renell. Yay, Renell.
Yes,
Good evening. Would you love to say a little something for us this evening?
Yes. My name is Renell Ogilvie from State Senator Jamal T. Bailey's office. I'm Senator Bailey's district director. Earlier today, we had our job fair event in Co-op City at the Bay Plaza Mall, and it was a big turnout.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I'm in the process of doing grandma duties at the same time. Are there any other officials? Representing officials? We have some committee members online.
That's it.
No? Okay, Dr. Sherry Samuels.
Present.
Hello there. So glad to see you.
You too.
This is different, right?
Yes, very different.
Dr. Samuels, would you like to introduce yourself to the rest of everyone on board?
Sure, definitely. My name is Dr. Sherry Samuels, and I'm a registered nurse practitioner. I am part of the health committee, and our goal is to introduce initiatives to the community. So every month we will be introducing a new health initiative, helping to get the word out to the community, making everybody more healthy and helping them with any type of resources that they may need.
So this will be what you are introducing us this evening for a community health focus, and we will take this and move on to the full board meeting.
Okay, perfect. So you
Correct.
want me to introduce that now, the health focus for this month?
So you can, let me just, let's bring the proposed Eden Wall Library renovation and expansion
Sure.
presented by the New York Public Library's Department of Capital Planning and Construction. Good evening.
Hi, good
Ms.
evening.
Udos?
Hi,
Hi.
everyone. Great. Thank you so much for having us. We're just gonna share the presentation. Please give us 1 sec.
Hi. Are you able to see the presentation?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, perfect.
Is that full screen, Jackie?
Unfortunately, I can't get it to be full screen. I'm sharing the window itself, but I'm able to click. Are you having trouble seeing it?
Yeah, you know what,
see
Jackie? Why don't you stop? I'll share it full screen, and then everybody can get a little better view. How's that?
Okay.
Okay. Sorry, everyone. Just give us 1 minute. I think this should work. Okay. And then you guys just tell me when you need the page flipped. How's that?
I can't see it.
Oh, it went away.
It went away.
Huh. Okay. All right. I don't know. Let's see. Let me do it one more time. Now?
Yes.
Okay. And now I'm going to do full screen, and hopefully this will work.
Said she can.
How about now?
Nope.
You lost it.
Oh,
That's,
okay. Sorry, everybody. For
got
that.
it.
We
Yeah,
will not
that's-
do full screen. We're going to leave it like this. How's that? All right. So, all right. Francis, I'm going to turn it back to
Yes.
you.
All right, let's try it. Give me 1 second. Let's see.
Oh, that's perfect.
That's me.
Perfect.
Okay.
Thank you.
Alrighty. Okay. Well, thank you so much, everyone, for having us tonight. We're very excited to be here and to present the renovation for the Edenwald Library. My name is Frances Euros. I'm the Senior Manager for Government and Community Affairs at the New York Public Library. I'm joined by my colleagues from the Capital Planning and Construction team, Carrie Gold, Senior Director, Jacqueline Abel, the Senior Project Manager. We're also joined here by Giselle Dixon, who is our Bronx Borough Director, and Shelley McKinney, who is a branch staff at the Edenwald Library, and we'll be here to respond to questions as we go along. We're also joined by Michelle Weitzner, Frank Michele, who will be presenting later on and go into more detail about the project. So a little bit, can you see this? Okay. So a little bit background about the library. I'm sure it doesn't need introduction. We were founded in 1895. We have 92 locations providing library services in 3 boroughs. That's the Bronx, Manhattan, and Staten Island. We have 92 locations We began in 1901 with just 13 libraries, grew to 63 libraries in 1952, and now we're at the 92 locations that we have. In the Bronx, we have 39 libraries, 35 libraries, and the Edenwald Library is one of them. The Edenwald Library began serving the community in 1973, which is a very long time ago, and this building was due for a renovation, which we're very excited to show you what it will look like. It's located at 1255 East 233rd Street. A little bit of context, it's in a residential neighborhood. It's right across the Seton Falls Park. There's the Edenwald houses also on the corner that serves the library. You can see there's also right across also a gas station and then a commercial strip. And I think PS 68 also is one of the schools that is served by the library. The library also currently offers a story time for children, a very popular, well-attended after-school program, Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays. Just this past fiscal year, the branch received more than 64,000 visits and over 14,000 folks have attended their program. So this renovation will really just add to the programming that the branch staff are already offering. And we're really excited just to walk you through what that renovation and the expansion of this library will look like. So with that, I'm going to turn it over to Jackie.
Hi, everyone. I'm Jackie Abel, the project manager from New York Public Library. Just to introduce and give you some background to our building. So Edenwald entrance is on East 233rd Street. It opened in 1973 and is a one-story building, roughly 7,600 square feet. The style of the building is referred to as a Lindsay box, which is a utilitarian style, which is lacking windows, lacking natural light and outdoors. And our entrance is not as inviting as we would like it to be. The interior is currently one large space with combined reading rooms of adult and children, and we have one single meeting space that's used for all ages. Right now, the entrance feels closed off, and our intent is to change the way the building looks and feels. Next slide, please. So with the help of Council Member Riley, and we were fortunate enough to have a large allocation of funding for this library, and the intent is to have a full renovation with an expansion. This includes new facade, new entrance and roof, all new mechanical, electrical, and plumbing systems, new interior spaces with abundant daylight, and new finishes, which includes flooring, ceiling, wall finishes, and so on.
Yeah.
And each reading area will have for adults, teens, and children. We'll have a large community room with also smaller meeting rooms for individuals, and as well as accessible restrooms and for public and staff. And we're also improving our ITs for both patrons and staff. So the building will be entirely renovated and brand new. Next, please.
Well, I also just want to add here, Jackie, that we're also very thankful to Assembly Speaker Carl Hasty for the support of this project and Council Speaker Adrian Adams, who also supported the funding for this project.
So to kick off our design team, we decided to, our select architects is Mitchell Weissner, and they worked with us previously on the McCombs Bridge Library. And we started design with them in March of 2024. And during that time, we had a conditions assessment, which means that we analyzed the building and the surrounding conditions of the library. And then we also explored different design options during this time. And while that was happening, our government relations team sent out a public survey, and we received 202 responses, and we heard what our patrons heard what they said. So they are asking for separated spaces for each user group, better programming and more meeting spaces, and natural light and upgraded finishes. So we also addressed what our branch staff and facilities needed in program-wise. So our vision is to make a better branch for Edenwald. Next slide, please. So the design team took all this information and analysis to develop a design for our library. And I'd like to introduce Frank Michelli, who will now walk us through our proposed design.
Good evening. Hello, my name is Frank Michelli. I also have on the call Tracy Tam. She's a project architect from Michelli and Weitzer, working on the project as well with me. The next slide, please. We're going to start with what the building, the existing project. As Jackie mentioned, it's a Lindsay box. It's a pretty enclosed space. This is a floor plan on the left. It's color coded by use. So as Jackie mentioned, there you enter off of East 233rd Street. There's a concrete plaza in between the main entry and the street. You cross that plaza, enter the building pretty much in the center of the facade. After you enter, there's a large circulation desk to the right and support spaces along that side of the building. But primarily, the building is primarily one large room that is subdivided with a row of stacks that doesn't go fully to the ceiling. So as you can see on the image on the right, the upper image is a view of the adult room. It's the adult reading room and the stack area separating the children's, which is on the other side of that stack. The room is has a single height ceiling. It's about 10 feet. It's relatively dark. The walls, the perimeter walls are lined with book stacks and very narrow clear story lighting. So the room itself, in summation, it's really closed off from the community. It's really inward looking, dark. And we see this project, in addition to the things Jackie mentioned, that we're going to elevate the library services. We see it as a great opportunity to totally transform the building into a light-filled, accessible, and a welcoming amenity for the community, and one that they'll love to visit. So why don't I show you on the next slide?
Yeah, 1 second, Frank.
Yep.
Ms. Dickerson, may we ask if you can mute the main room? There's a lot of background noise coming through. All right, thank you.
Okay. So as was mentioned, the project is going to be a renovation and an addition to the existing square building. So this diagram, this is and all the floor plans that we're showing tonight, they're oriented with the top of the page is north. So East 233rd Street is on the bottom of the page. That's the south side of the plan. De Reamer Avenue is on the left side. That's the west side of the plan. This diagram shows the kind of rectangular box that is the existing library. And the proposed addition for our project is pushing forward an additional 1,600 square feet between the front of the building and De Reamer Avenue. So that will be filling what is now a concrete plaza area. This horizontal expansion will increase the total square footage of the building from the 7,600 up to 9,400. However, it will require a mayoral zoning override because we are compromising the required zoning setback and as well as the total lot coverage for the horizontal expansion. I would like to mention that we did look at another option for expansion going vertically, and there were a number of problems with moving in that direction. Primarily, the existing structure of the building wasn't designed for it. It's a very lightweight steel structure, and the soil conditions below the building are quite poor. So the foundations go very deep, and any attempt to reinforce them would be not very practical. Additionally, the library was concerned about operational and programming complexities of a second floor. However, we're very fortunate that just this small amount of extra space, the additional 1,600 square feet, it meets the programmatic needs of the library on a single level. All three of the primary user areas, the adult area, the children's reading area, as well as the teen areas, they will all be increased in size and improved in terms of acoustic separation and privacy. So if there aren't any questions on that, why don't I go to the next plan, which shows the proposed floor plan. Again, north is up on the page. G. Reimer is on the west side, and East 233rd is on the bottom of the page. So again, we would be entering from the south side. That black triangle is the entrance. It would be under a covered, protected area into a vestibule, which would lead you into an open space with a circulation desk directly in front of you. We've been very careful to, behind the circulation desk, to design all the support spaces, the staff work areas, the bathrooms, the mechanical. We've tightened up all those spaces, made it very compact so we can give space back to the primary public areas. So again, the plan is color coded. The adult reading area, which spans, is kind of in this gold color, it spans the front of the building. It stretches all the way across the entrance elevation to the west side of the building. The adult area will have low stack areas. It'll have table seating. It'll have some lounge seating, as well as computers and printer areas. So it's pretty self-contained. And actually, all the program areas, the adult, the children's, and the teens are kind of handled the same way. They have all that they need within reach. A new program element that isn't in the existing building is these small meeting rooms, which you can see just above the word adult in the floor plan. So these are three small meeting areas for group study, for private conversations. Now everybody's having Zoom calls, so maybe that can be done in an enclosed area, again, acoustically separated from the main space. The children area is just north of the adult area. It's in green. It's separated from the adult area by a low bookshelf and a vertical glass panel, and you'll see that on the interior renderings. The children's area again will have its own computer workstations and work tables. It has a adjunct space, the story hour room, which is going to be separated by a glass wall and glass doors. So it is, again, for a little bit noisier function. It's enclosed, but it is visually open because everything is behind glass and low bookshelves. So it has a connection back to the children's area. The existing building has no defined teen room. So the new scheme now in the upper, let's call that the upper left room, the kind of salmon colored area, is a defined teen room. It will have a door and walls around it. So it'll be, again, acoustically separated from the children's area and other adjacent spaces. It'll also be self-contained and have computers and workstations and pinup space for artwork. The wall between a teen and the multi-purpose room, which is just south of that, the green space, the multi-purpose space, that wall can be completely opened up so that for a special program, the teen room can actually be combined with the multi-purpose room to create a very large space for special programs. Multi-purpose room obviously can be used totally enclosed. It can have seating for over 50 people for a presentation. There's a large storage room adjacent to it, so when the large number of chairs are not needed, there's a place to tuck them away. It also has a sink and work area behind a millwork enclosure on the perimeter of the space. So that's pretty much the interior spaces. Outside of the west wall, there is a strip of property which is now a planted area, and we are proposing an outdoor reading space. It's going to be at a slightly elevated height, so it's separated from the street, and it's enclosed on all sides by a raised planter, which will have native planting, low maintenance native planting in the planters, and we're hoping that there's a connection to the garden and the beautiful park across the street. Oh, one thing I didn't mention on the plan is that there's 2 locations. If it's really hard to see, but around the adult area, there's a dotted line, and there's another kind of making a kind of a dotted box, and there's one around the children's reading room area, and those indicate 2 raised ceiling zones. And the idea here is to create much more exciting spaces that are not just flat 1-story spaces, but create larger volumes of space. We're proposing to raise the roof up and creating these raised lanterns, which would be glazed on both sides. So we're able to make a beautiful scaled space and also bring natural daylight deep into the center of the space. The next view is a view of the interior, and it shows that. So this would be just inside the main entrance. The circulation desk would be on the right. But you can see that there's a portion of the roof that's been raised up and structured. It has high clear story glazing, so the light again can bounce into the space and evenly light with natural daylight the whole library. The book stacks are kept low, so views are open across the space. So from this vantage point, we're looking straight on in through a glass panel into the children's area beyond, and you can even see through another glass partition beyond that into the story hour room. To the left of that is the larger, higher book stacks are wrapping the multi-purpose room, and the small meeting rooms I mentioned are to the left of that, again, separated by glazing. The next view is another view of the main reading area from the circulation desk looking directly west. And again, the multi-purpose room is to the right, and the children's reading room is in the foreground to the right. But you can see that we've glazed the south and west elevations, kind of wrapping the adult reading area with clear glazing. We're really hoping that we can make a strong connection, not only from inside the building out, so it connects with the community, connects to the garden, connects to the reading terraces, but as passersby come by, the transparency of the building will invite people to come in. You'll see the activities happening within, and it'll, again, the idea is that we're trying to make it welcoming and inviting people to enter and participate in the life of the library.
And
the
Frank,
materials are. Yep,
I
go
just
ahead.
wanted to
Sorry.
just jump in for 1 minute.
Yep.
For everybody, I am Carrie Gould. I work in the Capital Division at the library and has worked on a lot of projects. And I just want to say we sort of these ideas of higher ceiling heights and volume and light and bringing natural light inside. It's something that we've seen in our earliest branches when Andrew Carnegie originally built them at the turn of the century. And it's something we truly believe elevates the space, elevates people's experience within the space. We've just had just a tremendous amount of positive feedback when we renovate branches and we really make this effort to bring in light and bring in bigger volumes. And we just think it's a very special moment for patrons, and we really love this idea that Frank's presenting and that we've worked on with them to really sort of elevate this space that's been very dark and was not really open to people outside to see like what's going on inside of the library. So we really love this element as a design feature, and this, as he's saying, connection to the plantings around the building, the park across the street, the sidewalk, just the whole neighborhood in general. So
Right.
I just wanted to
Right.
make that.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a lot of science that says people are happier in naturally lit spaces. They study better. They read. The reading comprehension that goes up. Students' test scores go up. It's a wonderful health as well as experiential condition. We are again. We are trying to bring natural materials into the interior spaces. Natural finishes. We're thinking wood, white oak. Flooring, as well as wall panels and millwork. Again, so it's very comfortable. There's a contrast between soft seating areas, lounge-like seating, and table seating. So there's a variety of seating types offered to the library patrons. The next slide shows our exterior massing concepts and how we got to the scheme from the exterior. So this is these are our axonometric drawings looking down at the building from up above. The top left is kind of the very simple massing of the existing building. It's really just a box. To the right is this concept of putting in a horizontal expansion that pulls south towards 233rd Street. That's the colored zone on the upper left. The lower left shows the idea of introducing large amounts of openings to, again, provide this transparency and this connection to the outdoors. The lower right, the concept of taking the roof, popping up to get different types of spaces and different qualities of space within, in addition to bringing the daylight deep into the center of the building. We have a couple of views of the exterior to show how it sits in the context. These are elevations of the building. The top is of the elevation from 233rd Street. The main entrance would be just below the sign Edenwald Library to the right. It's a protected overhang space. The glazing behind it again wraps the adult areas. You can see beyond that, up above is the clear story lighting for the pop-up, and the raised planter, which wraps around the building and wraps to the Dreamer elevation, which is on the lower, is the lower portion, is the lower drawing on the same slide. So that lower planter wraps all the way around the building and encloses that outdoor terrace area where we have seating for 16 to 20 people. That area is accessed through a door at the end of the adult reading room. The next drawings are perspective drawings, give you a much better sense of how the volumes work together and how like the planter box is really part of the volumetric composition of the whole building. It's kind of, the hope is that the building sits kind of proudly on the site. It looks like a public building, an important public building, but at the same time fits in nicely with the residential community of 2- and 3-story row houses. This view is from the corner of Dreamer and 233rd, looking back towards the entrance, of course. The entrance door is to the right. The next slide is of the Dreamer elevation. Again, there's on the left side is a large view window going into the teen room, and again, glazing wrapping to the right, wrapping the adult area with the raised volume above the adult room. And again, the planters wrapping and making the separation from the sidewalk. This also shows how nicely the building sits in relation to what's across the street the Seton Falls Park. It's kind of a beautiful park, and we're really hoping that there's kind of we can kind of accentuate the relationship between inside and outside. A little bit of garden that we have on our site with the large park.
Okay.
Yeah, I think we got one more view of how the building changes at night. This is a dusk view when the building really starts to change by glowing from the inside out. So we're hoping that this really becomes kind of a beacon in the community, kind of a very special kind of place and a new heart of the community. So we're super excited to be part of this project, and it's going to be a really amazingly new and improved version of what we have today. So, I think I'm going to pass it back to Jackie, who's going to talk to us about next steps, unless there are any questions about the overall design.
Well, Frank, why don't we finish up and then maybe we could take questions? So
Okay.
we'll just go to the next slide. And so I just wanted to let everyone know, I mean, so this is where we're at. Like, again, we at the library are thrilled about the project. So thankful for the allocation that we received. And so for us, you know, we've been working on design. We wanted to come to you. But as you know, all public buildings have to go to the Public Design Commission for review. So we are, you know, we want to move that process forward to get their feedback to see if we're going in the right direction. So we do plan on submitting to PDC later this month. As Frank mentioned, we are going to apply for a mayoral override. It's for basically we're over a bit on the FAR for a corner lot when we push the front of the building out. We have been in talks with Bronx City Planning. They're very supportive of the override. So we're in the process there. I'm sure that you'll hear and see something about that. And again, we're still in design. These designs are being developed. We're going to continue to develop them. Interiors will be developed. I mean, I don't, you know, just want everybody to understand, like, this is sort of an iterative process. We're really pleased with the work so far, and we hope you are too. And we just look forward to continuing this conversation. So we will, you know, we're hoping to complete design this summer. So that gives you an indication of 26, sort of where we are. So thank you. And we are happy to take any questions.
Thank you.
I said, thank you so much. I'm very excited myself personally as a retired educator and administrator from the John Philip Sousa campus, which is right up the block.
Right.
There's been so many times that I've walked so many of our scholars and young children and families coming to that library. So I'm excited.
Oh, good. And we want them to come and really have a space that, you know, we're all proud of. And serves everyone well.
Anthony Reed has his hand up. He's one of our members.
Hello. Thank you for the wonderful presentation. My question is as I didn't see the restrooms on that plan.
Okay. Yeah. I kind of went through it pretty quickly. We can go back to it. We are actually adding bathrooms. Currently, there's 2 bathrooms for public use, and then there are staff bathrooms. In the new scheme, we're going to have 2 bathrooms in the public area. We're going to have a new bathroom just dedicated to children, and then we're going to have a fourth bathroom that's going to be dedicated to the staff.
Okay.
So there will be 3 for public use.
So can you show me that on the on the diagram?
So when you right past the entry, there's a vestibule, and the corridor goes a little bit to the right, and then there are 2 restrooms. Those are the 2 public restrooms, just in blue, just south of the corridor.
Is that by the manager office?
Across from the manager's office, right? Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And then on the top part of the plan, where there's an entrance from the children's room, there's a small corridor that goes back to the children's bathroom dedicated to children, and a staff restroom as well.
Okay.
That's at the top of the plan.
Okay. Thank you for that. Now, also, do you guys have an idea of the contractor that you guys are using or that are bidding for the project?
Not at this point. Yeah, I think that's pretty far down the line.
Yeah.
We're going to put together a set of documents after we get all these approvals, and then we'll be going to bid, and then that question will be answered.
Okay.
But that's a year and a half away.
Okay, that's definitely an awesome design. It looks beautiful. The lighting and just the when you showed it at night with the with the library emblem, it looks really beautiful.
Nice. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you.
I am going to say Frank's firm did another project for us at McCombs Bridge, and it's just a really, we're so happy to be working with them again. It's a beautiful branch. Same idea, bringing light into a smaller space. It's just really lovely. So we're pleased. I think we're having a little interference.
Yeah, I'm not sure if someone's speaking or not.
I was muted. All of that wonderful stuff I said. I just wanted to say, if you saw us passing a paper back and forth, it was the plans. I was very happy to have received them. Yeah, I'm a paper addict. I was very happy to have received them. And at this time, Ms. Elise Murray, who is one of the committee 3 members, she has a question for you.
Good evening, everyone. I just wanted to say thank you for this new renovation. I am a part of the the Resident Tenant Association in the Edenwald Community Houses that is now newly privately owned. And we're excited about the renovations that's going on in Edenwald houses. And so this is beautiful to see the upgrades and to have the upgrades. So I just wanted to say thank you. We'll be finished our renovations 2027. And this would be just nice to parallel with the timing. So I just wanted to say thank you. I think this is wonderful. Just echoing everyone here tonight. It's just looks beautiful. It's about time. And I just think it's a beautiful thing to have. And I just wanted to say thank you.
Oh, well, you're welcome. Thank you. That sounds great. Again, like you said, a nice synergy between that project and the library.
We are so privileged to have a member on by the name of Troy Thomas, who is, I'm so happy about, our 16-year-old Cardinal Spellman student. Troy, you want to say a little something about the library renovation? Troy?
We have a question. We have a question.
Okay, we also have, we have a question here as well.
How long does it usually take for the mayor portion his approval?
The override?
Approval
I think she's asking about the override.
on the
Yeah.
override. It can take, we've already started all the paperwork. It's just like internal review at the city. So it could take from 3 to 6 months. I mean, we've already talked to Deputy Mayor Carrion's office. We would like to close that up as soon as possible because, there will likely be a transition. And so we are doing our best to just forward and would like to close that up as soon as possible.
Yeah, because this is now going to be a transition of a new mayor.
Yes.
Okay.
So we are kind of working against that
Clock, yeah.
Are there any other questions, any other comments? Thank you so much, Ms. Uros. It's been a pleasure speaking with you on the phone. Glad to see you face to face.
Same here. Same here.
Thank-
And I just want to add, just to let everybody know, we are planning a community conversation later in November or before Thanksgiving, just to make sure that the community gets an invitation to come and to the branch and see the design and have an opportunity to also give their feedback. We plan to have invite the local elected, so Councilmember Riley, Speaker Hasty, and of course Senator Bailey there. So I will send you an update, Ms. Dickerson, once we have those dates or available or set.
Do you have, do they have a 3D model of this?
Ms. Skinner's asking, do you have a 3D model of this?
Well, that's how we created the. You mean a physical model? We don't have a physical model right now. We have the electronic 3D model. There's two. We talk about models in two different ways. The electronic model is what we use to create those perspective drawings. We also have some study models in our office that we're developing just to study the scheme and the materials and certain details. I'm curious. Why do you ask?
Because seeing it visually, like since you're renovating it, usually in some places there's a model
Yep.
of what the future would look like, of what the future library would look like. And when you're talking to somebody that may not know specs or something, and I'm looking at your designs here, it looks great on the screen. But when you're talking a lot of times to the community, to see what it actually would look like physically usually is impressive. So I would just say.
Yeah, I will say, I mean, I do agree. Occasionally we do models on projects. We haven't as of late, because I will say sort of the computer generated model has taken over, but we can, Frank, I mean, let's see what you have in your office, Frank.
Yeah, I mean, we've done quite a bit of work just to. It helps. It's a tool for us, right? We work with 3D models because sometimes the renderings they fool us. So it is sometimes really useful to work with a 3D model. We've got two in the office that we've been working on. They're just not finished. They're not like beautiful and presentable. But we could make one presentable if that was requested.
Yeah, sort
I
of
do
like
totally.
maybe a study one or something. Well,
Yeah,
if we do
a nice study one.
yeah, nice.
Yeah.
Because those models cost a lot of money. I was everybody just but we'll see what we can do to give sort of a 3D element to it.
But if somebody says, oh, this would look better over here, it's easier to move a piece of a brick or a piece of the model than trying to draw a whole new schematic.
We're just trying to stay away from that.
We're like exterior. All right.
Say something?
Yeah, she's going to introduce them. Well, thank you very much. I appreciate you. And I will be speaking back with you again. Y'all be safe and have a blessed evening.
All right, very nice
Thank you
meeting
so
you.
much. Good night.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you. Good night.
Bye-bye.
There have been changes to our agenda, and the next portion will be awareness presentations for October, and that would be breast cancer awareness. Oh, I'm sorry. The first one is domestic violence.
Yes. Good evening, everybody. So the Health Committee has decided that we will do domestic violence awareness for this month. It is on the rise. We see a lot of violence going on in the home, with children, with their parents. We see murder rates up regarding this. And so we want to bring awareness and resources to the community. So this will be discussed at the general board meeting with a PowerPoint presentation And of course, we will have a list of resources available for the community, so that if they are experiencing this, that they know where they can get help at. So that's going to be the presentation that's going to be presented at the general board.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Good evening again, everyone. My name is Joe Claude. I'm one of the co-chairs of this committee. Our next presentation will be on breast cancer awareness. And on the phone, on our agenda, we have a speaker, Miss Crystal Spriggs, who is a survivor of breast cancer. And she will tell us her story. But in the meantime, I'll just talk a little bit about breast cancer. So breast cancer awareness is observed every year to highlight the importance of early detection, treatment, and ongoing support for individuals living with breast cancer. Breast cancer awareness focuses on raising awareness, promoting early detection, and supporting those affected by this disease. This year's theme, Stronger Together, Uniting Voices for Prevention and Support. And the unique stories, and it emphasizes the unique stories and journeys of those affected by breast cancer, reinforcing the need for compassionate care and support for all. And that's what Ms. Spriggs will now speak about. Ms. Spriggs, you're on.
Yes. Hi, good evening, everyone. How are you this evening? Can you all hear me?
Yeah.
Hi. So, okay, I just wanted to, I think I have a little feedback. Do I sound like I have feedback? Yes? Does it sound better? Okay. So, I, just to give you a little background of my story, I was diagnosed with breast cancer in October 12th of, excuse me, well, I was diagnosed September 7th, 2012. And my diagnosis was funny because I found a mass in my breast 10 years prior to my diagnosis. And having had it checked, it came back inconclusive. And I was told that I needed a mammogram and a sonogram. But the funny thing is that the mass never showed up on imaging. So I went back, I was going back year to year, every year since I addressed that I saw something. And I would have to have a mammogram and a sonogram. And it was really not no change. But in 2012, I noticed it changed a little bit. Well, 2011, I noticed it changed. It grew. And so I questioned my primary physician because getting my regular mammograms and sonograms, there was no change to the diagnosis. So in 2011, I was sent to a specialist. And the specialist did a biopsy. No, 2012, I'm sorry. I noticed it grew in 2011. And I questioned it. And then in 2012 is when I was diagnosed. So I went to the specialist. The specialist did could feel what I could feel. And at that point, it felt like it was like, I'm going to say like, it felt to me like it was 2 inches in size. So I had the sonogram, never showed up on imaging. So at that point, I was given a biopsy. The biopsy came back inconclusive. I was sent to have a second biopsy. And at that point, the biopsy came back positive. And I'm a little annoyed now because I was being proactive and like I said, the mass never showed up on imaging. So when I went to have a MRI done after that, The MRI showed that it was my whole breast that was full of cancer, at which point I had to have a mastectomy. So I wanted to get a second opinion. And I went to Memorial Sloan Kettering. I was first diagnosed at St. Luke's Hospital, Mount Sinai St. Luke's. And I went to get a second opinion. And at that point, I went to Memorial Sloan Kettering, at which time they diagnosed me differently. They diagnosed me a little worse than what my initial diagnosis was. They said I had skin cancer and breast cancer disease. And I can understand why they would say that, because of the biopsy, and then shortly after having to have a mammogram, it got a little infected. So I had a low grade fever, and at that point, my breast took on an orange peel appearance, and it was red and inflamed. So I can understand why they diagnosed me that way. So then at that point, I said, okay, I need to get another opinion. So at the time, the Cancer Treatment Centers of America was in operation, and they used to have really long commercials. They look kind of gimmicky, but I said I didn't, I had nothing to lose. So I called them, and they sent me out for a 4-day evaluation, they were very thorough. And me being a spiritual person, a believer in the Lord Jesus Christ, when I walked in the door, what got me was that they lined up with my belief. So as soon as I walked in the door, first thing they did was grab my hand to pray. And they informed me no one walks in here with a toe tag. So not only did they deal with me on a spiritual level, they dealt with me holistically, naturopathic, and medicinal. And I was well pleased, because every question that I had, they answered it, to my benefit, to my liking. So I decided, and they diagnosed me after 4 days, the same as my first diagnosis. So I decided I was going to be treated there. And I ended up having a unilateral mastectomy. And I was really pleased with their care. They've since closed, and they've all of their patients. Well, me being a patient, I went to Philly, and what they did was they paid for me, my caregiver, my travel expenses, lodging, and meals. So that 4-day kit with my caregiver, it was a wonderful experience. And since they've closed, they've now transferred my records out to Philadelphia. But just to make a long story short, I went 10 years being self-diagnosed. So when I say that I'm a survivor from 2012 up until this point, I say no, I'm a survivor longer than that time, because it's been 10 years. I lived with that cancer inside of me without it being diagnosed, and I knew something wasn't right, because I could feel it. It didn't show up, which was concerning to me. It didn't show up on imaging. It didn't show up in a mammogram, and it didn't show up in a sonogram. But me knowing my body, thank God I had the mindset to question why, at the time this is growing, even though it's been, deemed negative. Why is it growing? So I urge people, and men as well, because men get breast cancer. I urge people to be diligent with checking. When you know that there's something that doesn't feel right in your body, check it out, and don't settle on the first result. Go and get a second opinion, a third opinion if you need to, but be diligent, because sometimes, you're not going to feel any pain. I felt no pain. I had no pain. I didn't start exhibiting pain, excuse me, until after my diagnosis. And that was after they started um, poking and prodding. It's like they annoyed, they annoyed the cells. So I started getting heightened, everything was heightened in me. And don't let fear keep you from doing what you know is going to save your life. Always know that early detection, be proactive. Stay, early detection is going to save your life. Don't wait until you start to feel something. And I mean, don't wait until you start to physically feel pain in your body. As soon as you feel something, physically feel something with your hand that doesn't feel right, go and get it checked out. It's imperative. So like I said, I didn't start feeling any pain symptoms until after my diagnosis. And then of course, you get uh, it's the battlefield of the mind, because your mind starts moving in another direction. It starts telling you you're going to die. It's not a death sentence. Know that a diagnosis is not a death sentence. There are many people that survive, but survival rate depends on mostly on how early you get detected, your diagnosis. So, yeah, so the way I handled the situation, I turned directly to God. I pretty much went into full on prayer. I ate the word of God, the healing scriptures. I focused on them, and they worked for me, because God can do all things except fail. And I trust in him like that. Not to say that, I can't speak on anyone else's belief system, but for me, that is where I leaned. I leaned heavily on him, and I ate the word of God. I ate his promises, which never failed me. So, but I leave that to say, once again, be proactive. And if you feel something, and that is you men too. I've met many men with breast cancer, and they don't believe that they have it. They'll feel a mass and don't think that it's breast cancer, but you cannot take it for granted. You have to get it checked out. If you feel something that does not feel normal, get it checked. And that's what I have to say. So I just want to also mention in my after my surgery, like I said, I had a unilateral mastectomy. I was very fortunate, because I went through having the mastectomy without having to have chemotherapy or radiation or medication. And that is because I was diagnosed with ductal carcinoma in situ, DCIS. And the cancer originated in my milk duct. Excuse me. Although, like I said, it had been there for a long period of time, it grew slowly. And fortunately for me, because what the doctor removed out of my body, out of my breast, was 2 large masses and several small ones. But the fortunate thing for me, I give all praises to God, as large as the masses were, they never broke through my milk duct. So it was encapsulated. Had it broken through, it would have become an invasive problem. But fortunately for me, because it did not break through my milk ducts, regardless of how large it had grown, I did not have to have chemo, radiation, or any medication. So and and because of the size, the doctor was pretty amazed that I did not have to go through any of that. But because all of my levels were negative, so I'm really thankful for that. I haven't and I documented my whole journey. Anything that I heard God say to me, I wrote it down. And one of those things that He said that I stand on, that this shall not come by you again. And that is a promise that I hold dear to my heart. And you know, and I trust and believe him. So and so that's what I wanted to share with you. You know, it was a journey. I had to go through in recovery. It did not go without trials, because any surgical procedure is a battle, and I had to go through many in being in having to have my breast rebuilt, um, you know, with the expander and the implant. You know, that I've had to go through quite a bit of surgical procedures, but to God be the glory. I stand here healthy, whole, healed, you know, and I say nothing missing, nothing broken, because there is nothing missing and nothing broken in my life. So I just wanted to share that with you, and thank you for listening.
Thank you.
So much for your stories.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear you.
I said, thank you so much for your story.
Oh, you're very welcome. You're very welcome. I
Ladies,
hope I was able to bless someone.
and ladies and gentlemen, remember what she says. Be proactive. Take care of yourself. Early detection is saving life. That's some story. And not having to go through chemo and radiation, that's a blessing.
Mm.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
I just wanted to ask if anybody had any questions.
I know. How did you have, I can't understand how you had breast cancer for 10 years and it wasn't detected on mammogram?
Not at all. I went every year. I'm diligent with my health care. I get all of my annual exams without fail every year. And even to, at this big age now, I won't tell it, but, bone density, heart, stress tests, I get everything done, because after you get a certain age, it's important that you are on top of everything concerning your body. So yes, and I was diagnosed. I was a young woman diagnosed, but not that young. I was in my 40s when I got diagnosed. So I did. I went through. They would do regular mammograms, and what happened is the doctor said that my breasts were heterogeneously dense, and so because they were dense, which is not a bad thing, because they were firm, but it makes it hard to detect any masses. So I would have to go through a sonogram in addition to the mammogram. But the sonogram nor the mammogram was able to detect the mass. And even on feeling the mass, the sonogram did not show the mass on imaging. And it was shocking to me too, because the doctor, she felt it just like I felt it, just like this. She was able to feel it, and she had the scan, but it never showed up.
That's interesting. Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Hello, hello.
Hi.
Hello, can I say something?
Go ahead, Anthony.
Go ahead, Anthony.
Yes, first of all, I'd like to thank you for the courage and just to share your miracle. God bless you for that. Now, my sister had breast cancer, and also, she's a survivor. Uh, can you just share, like, if like the support, like, did you go to a support group? Was it something that can you share that for people that might not even want to talk about it, that can reach out to this support arena where it might be able to help them get a little bit more vigilant about working on it? Because sometimes, the fear the fear of knowing is scary, and the fear of not knowing is even scarier. So can you share the support that you had, like wherever it was?
I had an amazing support system, I have to tell you. And I'm well, not everybody is as transparent as I am. I'm one of those people, I tell it, because if I can help somebody and somebody can help me, the only way you're going to get help is to open up your mouth. So what happened with me was, when I found out I was at work, I was sitting, I had just come back from vacation. I had my exam done, and then I went off on vacation. I asked the doctor, well, is it okay if I still go on vacation? And I was told, yes, go. So on that first day back from vacation, as I'm sitting at my desk, my phone rang. And then the doctor said, your test came back positive. And I was floored. So I had to excuse myself from my office and find a quiet place. And I went through a gambit of emotions. And I don't have to tell you what they would be, because anybody with the diagnosis, I don't know if any of you have ever had any type of diagnosis, but I went through, I went through disbelief, because for me, I have a background as a dancer. I worked out, I took care of myself. So I was in disbelief. I was basically blindsided. I was Fear jumped on me naturally. And then I got angry. I got angry with God, because I'm like, Lord, I'm doing my due diligence. I don't abuse myself. I don't drink. I don't smoke. I don't do drugs. I work out. I dispelled every statistic. So, and really, who can say who will get cancer? What statistic is there? There is really none. Anybody can get cancer today. I don't have a family history. I'm the first. So I was blindsided, and I was angry. I was angry with God for putting it in it. And I said, why me? Why not you? But my grace is sufficient. So the first person I called was my mother, who at the time was down south. And then I called my sister, who's also a prayer warrior, and she prayed with me. And then I have a group of girlfriends. And the Lord told me this. And he said, you know what? Get everyone together and speak it one time. Talk of your diagnosis one time, and don't say it again. At that point, I need you to speak healing only. Everybody needs to line up and speak only healing over you. So not you have cancer. I never had cancer. I was diagnosed with cancer, but I didn't have cancer. So that was not the conversation that I was having. So my support system, they lined up. So I called a meeting with my girlfriends, and I talked to them, and I told them what was happening, and I explained to them that this is how I wanted you to support me. One of the biggest problems I had at the time was explaining it to my children, because my daughter was in high school. My son, he was already away. And so my daughter, I remember she was doing her homework, and I had just gotten the news. So I'm quiet, and I'm sitting up there, Lord, how am I going to tell my child? And then she stopped writing, and I didn't say anything out loud. I'm saying it in my head. And she said, so mommy, what happened at the doctor today? And I was like, Lord, you are funny. So I told her that my results were positive. And initially she got emotional, but then I stopped her. I said, no, I'm healed by the stripes of Jesus. I'm healed. I'm made whole. Jesus bore my sicknesses and infirmities on the cross at Calvary. By his stripes, I'm healed. I said, I want you to think of me as being healed, nothing else. And when I fall, when I get weak, because there will come time when my countenance will be low, I need you to gird me up in strength, and remember, that I am more than a conqueror, and his grace is sufficient in my life. So she did that. She was a rock. And my girlfriends, they did the same thing. So I had a phenomenal source of caregivers around me. And it is, can I just say, it is not a journey that you want to take alone. The caregiver's job is a very valuable one. And it's also tactful on them. You know, it's a lot for them, because you're physically enduring it, they're mentally and emotionally enduring it with you. So it's a lot for them to walk you through it. And a lot of people don't give a lot of credit to the caregivers. So I when I would go to appointments, there was always someone with me. Thank God, I always had someone there with me to support me. So, today, when I know that there is someone, I'm giving a phone call. What do you need? How can I help? What word, even if it's just a prayer, even if you just want me to silently sit next to you and hold your hand, what do you need? What do you need? So it's important. The caregiver, but you can't find a caregiver if you don't open up your mouth. You know what I mean? So you can't, don't journey, don't take that journey alone. Open up your mouth and tell somebody what you're going through, because 9 times out of 10, you're going to find somebody who's been there. You're going to find somebody who's been there, or they're going through it with you. And there's nothing like, that support system. I remember when I was when I was going through, and I remember at the hospital, it could have been before surgery, after surgery, and I'm in the cancer center, there's always someone there. Either they're sitting alone, or they're afraid, and I would always find my way over to them and let's pray, because I remembered me walking in the door, and having that feeling of, even though I had a caregiver with me, but when you have the doctors and they remember your name and they grab you by the hand and they say, let's pray. There's nothing like it. So when I would meet people in the facility, I would always go by and say, let's pray. If they're a believer, even if they're not a believer, would you like me to pray with you? What are you dealing with? And I would give my story, of course. And then and once I know that I open up myself to them, they open up themselves to me. And another thing that I loved about the facility, they had an appreciation dinner every weekly. So, and in that appreciation dinner, everyone would sit around, they'd play games, they'd give testimonies, they'll tell what their challenges are. It was so rewarding. And there's nothing like, services like that to help you get through.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you so much. I appreciate you. I cannot even tell you, because we are definitely sisters in the faith. One time we'll have to have a conversation about my journey.
Amen.
Yes. At this time, I believe there isn't any other questions or anything online. No questions here. At this time, it is, what time? 8:39. It is 8:39. I'd like to move to adjourn this meeting.
I'd like to make a motion to adjourn this meeting.
Second. Exactly.
Can I say something? Can I say one thing? One more thing, please. I don't talk a lot, but I just want to say one more thing. And listen, I just want to tell you guys that just like she said that her daughter and her family was her rock, Tolene was my rock. Tolene, I thank you so much. You hear me? You don't even know. I'm crying right now. I love you, Tolene, and you know I'll be a rock for you. I'll be water. I'll be a baseball bat. I'll be whatever I need to be for you. I love you, Tolene, for free.
Amen. That's
Thank
beautiful.
you. Is that on record?
It's all right.
It's on record.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Wow,
That's beautiful.
that's beautiful. So as I was so completely, yes, I would like to make a motion to adjourn the meeting at this time. Well, I was corrected, because I said I'd like to move.
To me,
And you second?
yes. It's moved to make a motion.
Okay, oh, so I was, okay,
Move to make.
all right. So good night.
Good night.
Good night.
Good night.
Good night.